Hey guys, Camye for 29er Online. I'm giving my final review for the Niner JET9. Big shout out to Niner for letting us have this bike for such a long time, and a big shout out for letting me ride the bike in a couple of races this year. It really made a difference. My opinion doesn't really change too much on my first review of this bike. You know, it's a 3-inch travel bike. It does very, very well in the fact that it's a great transition bike for somebody coming off a hardtail that doesn't really like the idea of a full-on suspension bike but wants to soften their ride a little bit. It's an exceptional climbing bike because it does have some travel in it, but not enough that it's going to suck the energy out of you. So I think it's a great climbing bike in the fact that it climbs well, it climbs hard, it climbs fast, and it sticks to the ground. The tires stick to the ground. It pretty much climbs long hills, short steep hills. Your front wheel does not have a tendency to pop up, which is 2 thumbs up in my book. It corners exceptionally well in my opinion as well, because again, you're going to have not much travel, so you're not wasting a lot of energy on the tight turns, whether it be long sweeping turns or very tight switchback turns. Once you learn how to ride a 29er, this bike does exceptionally well. It sticks to the ground, tires don't move, the front wheel doesn't pop up. I think the geometry of the bike makes a huge difference in this. You know, I'm not going to see a negative per se because it's not a full-on suspension bike. You have to be a little more aware of the downhills because it doesn't have as much travel as a full-on suspension bike. However, I'm coming on off a hardtail, and I think, you know, to me, it's a lot more plush coming off a hardtail, without a doubt, on the descent. However, somebody coming off a full suspension or a trail bike, they're going to be a little more conscientious of the descents because, you know, it rides a little more like a hardtail on the descent. But, you know, once you get your weight back and ride it a little more like a hardtail, it inspires confidence in the downhill. You just have to be a little more aware of your body, how your body's placed. Put your weight in the rear of the bike, and it's going to descend well. If you don't do that, however, with the head angle, it tends to push your body a little far forward, so you have to be a little aware of that. But, you know, a small price to pay for the cornering of this bike, the climbing of this bike, and the overall geometry and the way this bike handles. I think it's going to be a great bike for somebody that wants to have a cross-country bike, just, you know, keep in their backyard and pretty much ride any cross-country bike. It's also going to do well on a long-distance cross-country ride. I would certainly take this bike on any endurance ride that I'm doing because it pretty much does everything well. To me, being an endurance rider, I make up a lot of my time on climbs, and this bike is an exceptional climber, and that's why I would buy this bike, just for the climbing alone. You can make up so much more time on climbs than you can descent in an endurance race. So that being said, thumbs up on that.